It's that time of day again, guys. Joseph James here. School of Trade, Sideways Markets, July 27th, 2011. Here's your Wednesday's live trading recap. Another great day in live trading this morning, guys. Wednesday mornings mean what? Crude oil inventories. So right off the bat this morning, we were watching for those three phases of crude, watching the clock, the pre-news, during news, post-news, right? So we had 10:30 inventories today. That was on our mind from point one here this morning. And we also had what? 8:30 durable goods. Durable goods and 10:30 inventories today came out bearish. Bearish didn't quite get the job done though, because the price action was pretty sloppy, so we did have to be careful today. But we got two news events today that were very bearish on crude, and when we use those in conjunction with these four clues, let's grab a look here. Big day today, guys. Over 180 ticks of profit. We got four clues here on crude. First one was previous highs, previous lows. What do we call that? Inside day. What does an inside day mean for me? It means I'm going to buy the previous lows, I'm going to sell the previous highs, avoid the middle, trade inside the range. We talked about that in detail today in the room. Not to mention, we're also going to make sure if price makes new lower lows, I'm selling retracements. If price pushes new higher highs, I'm buying pullbacks. So inside day, while I'm inside the range, I'm buying the lows, I'm selling the highs. That was the first thing. The next thing was, if it breaks below the previous lows, I'm going to sell retracements. That was the first clue, inside day. Now the next clue comes, swing low here, right? Swing low here, and what do we see there? That's going to be a trend line off the lows. We then also had a trend line coming down off the highs. What do we call that? That's called a price wedge. There's your price wedge. And then sure enough, we took that trend line off the high, copied it down here, and there is going to be your price channel bearish, of course. So we've got the wedge, the inside day, we've got the bear channel, and then last but not least, what do we see here right in the middle? Oh man, that darn trend line here, right in the middle there, around that 98.60, right? 98.50 to 98.60, right there. So that darn trend line, that's where we got hung up today here for quite a bit of time this morning as price started tumbling. 8:30 news came out. When 8:30 news came out, it was bearish. We broke below that trend line. I sold a retracement all the way down to the previous low of day. At that previous low of day, major support. I bought that previous low. We made 30 ticks going down, made 50 ticks going back up, and that was only two of a number of winning trades we took here, guys. Fast Track's making money today, members hitting their goals today, and of course we had 2 o'clock beige book, so we finished the day relatively early because summertime, you're not going to get the early morning volume or the late morning volume. And with beige book, right, that diary from the Fed governors, we knew traders would be hitting the exits pretty early this morning. So we got out relatively early, took our money and run, had a great members only training today at 11:30, and answered a bunch of great questions for you guys. Now real quick, here's my 13 range chart. My 13 range chart, great for day traders, perfect for day traders. And of course, here's that inside day, right? There's your previous low of day, right down bottom there. There's that major level of support. And then sure enough, on our 13 range chart, we were able to find this bear price channel in pink. We didn't see that in the 34 range chart, but we definitely found it right away on our 13 range, and that further solidified. Remember, we got bearish news all day today. Bear channel says sell retracements on the way down. So here we are now, 8 o'clock, 8:30 rolls around, we get bearish news and we break through that major support. Remember, how do I trade a bear channel? New lower lows, sell the retracement. That's the key, got to get lower lows. So of course I get one retracement there, a little bit too close for comfort for the 89 range resistance there now. New lower lows again, now we're talking, I'll sell short right there. Second wave pattern I take, 842, make 19 ticks of profit. Bearish news at 8:30. Now look, we're going to have, that's my new low now. So we're going to chop around sideways. We'll wait through the 9 o'clock crude open pit. Notice how we break up and fail. That's a big clue as well. We see it fail. It comes down, makes a new lower low. Wave 1, new lower low. Wave 2, new lower low. Wave 3, and all three of these +5, -5, +5, -5, +5, -5. Now, at this point in the morning, we're saying, guys, it's so important right now that we stay focused on following our plan. I know, we were disappointed we didn't make money on those 3 trades. But one of these scratch trades, even though we're going to pull our hair out here, one of these is going to be the big winner. And sure enough, the fourth one was the charm. We take the next retracement. That brings us all the way down to the previous low of day. I make 30 ticks now. The first three, though, as you know, were sloppy. The fourth one, though, bam, make the big money there. Now, where were we here? Now down to the previous low of day. What are we talking about with the previous lows, right? Buy that support. It's an inside day. So we buy here, final target up at the high of this channel, right? Relatively easy idea there. So we finally get some money out of the short. Takes me all the way down to the previous low of day. We knew that would be a target for us. And then we're going to buy that support, bring it right back up, and the next logical level of resistance is the high of that channel. That's my final target. I make a +5, a +10, and a +31 on that runner. And again, we buy the lows. And these weren't just your average lows. This was the previous low of day, the lower end of the channel, right? The wedge lows. There was a number of reasons why we wanted to be buyer there. Now remember, at this point, bear channel. Are we going to keep going up? Nope. We come tumbling back down. Did I get a new lower low? No, so no trade there. Could have been, but I'll wait for a new lower low. What time is it now? 10:30. What happened at 10:30? More bearish news. So we get a new lower low. I'm going to sell short here. As you can see, our goal was to bring it down to the lows of this channel. It chops around, then it drops. +5, +10, bounce me out, then it drops. New lower low, you know how this goes, right? I know I'm a broken record at this point. New lower low, back up at the highs here. I'm going to sell again, a retracement. I make my 21 ticks, but this is where we get a really big clue here. See how the low of day right there doesn't get tested? Now that's a sign of the sellers failing. So sellers fail at 10:45. So whenever that happens, we mark up our swing high right there. It just happens to be right around that previous low of day. You know where I'm going with this. So the buyers, of course, step back in. They push it up above that swing high. I get above the previous low of day. Therefore, now buyers are back in charge. Remember, now we expect this to go all the way up to the previous high of day. Obviously, didn't happen. We get the pullback right here. Very sloppy and choppy. My final target up at the BMT. Remember, the BMT is a great price magnet. I get nothing out of it. +5, -6. Disappointed, though. Didn't get much out of there just before 11 o'clock. You can see, though, break above the previous lows, buy the pullback. Very sloppy right there. Wanted to go up there. But, of course, I was sitting on the sidelines watching that thing go without me. Now, here's where we should have another wave long, right? Look for another wave long, right? Well, not so fast. It blows right through it. I mark up my swing low right here. And we break right through that swing low. That's a two-step pattern, or in this case, a wave failure pattern. Fast track winner. I make 20 ticks on it. Remember, we just saw, look at this. We saw the sellers fail once. We see the sellers fail twice. Now, guys, twice we see the sellers can't push down. I'm now convinced. Remember, inside day, we're going all the way back at the highs here now. So what do? I now look at this as a wave long now again. So I take my entry right there, and 11:07, another 20 ticks. I tried one more time to see if we could jump up because I thought for sure we'd get up here. We did eventually, but not before scratching me out here at a +5, -1. So 2 off at 5 is 10, -1 is a +9. So an excellent end of the day today, but boy, we definitely had to work hard for it. We had to really follow our plan to have the confidence trade through that 940 to 955 time frame, and boy, we certainly piled up our ticks afterwards. We finished up early with the beige book at 2 o'clock, and of course you can see here, we hit our daily goal by a long shot here. 188 ticks, guys. Started on crude, finished on crude. You can see here's where we got into a little bit of trouble here, right? Now again, I take a little bit of profit off before I take my final target. So it's a +5, -5. And we were talking about this as they were all great looking patterns. We just didn't get the price action to fulfill the mission. Eventually though, you can see here, we finally got to start working. And when it did, it made us some money in a very short period of time. A great example today of how we're not going to deviate from our plan just because we have some sloppy price action. Stay confident, stay focused on following that plan of attack, and again, eventually those scratches will turn into those big winners. Let's prep for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Thursday means what? It means jobless claims. We got jobless claims at 8:30. We got pending home sales at 10 o'clock, and a very minor news event. I won't even look for it tomorrow, but I'll put it on here so you guys know where it is. Nat gas inventories tomorrow. Now, just like crude oil, you trade crude inventories, you trade crude oil futures. Well, nat gas inventories tomorrow at 10:30. Nat gas futures will be what moves with that. I put it on there not because I'm going to watch it, but because I know you guys will ask about it if I don't. Then we have the 11:30 European markets close. We'll wait around tomorrow for 11:30, see if we can get some late morning volume. Don't expect too much though. Summertime trading, early morning volume's not there, late morning volume's not there. We're going to really try to pick our spots from 8:30 to 11:30 tomorrow. And then as you guys know, every day once we wrap things up, once things slow down, we'll take all your questions and do our special members and guests in our webinar. So come in tomorrow morning, 8:30, we get it all started with jobless claims tomorrow. And don't forget, guys, I'm going to put out the morning prep tomorrow, 7:45. We'll go over that morning prep together so you can understand what our trade plan is going to be. And then all we have to do is, just like today, we'll then trade our plan. So we plan our trades ahead of time, then we sit back, relax, and wait for price to come to us, and we trade our plan. Exactly the same we did today. I'll do a webinar tomorrow at 11:30, so bring your questions, bring your friends and family, bring a ton of good questions. We'll answer them all tomorrow at 11:30. Friday morning, we have beginners type training Friday mornings. And of course, if you're a guest in the room, that's sales at School of Trade. If you're a member of ours, that's support at School of Trade. And yours truly, I'm JJ at School of Trade. Had a wonderful day, began a little bit rocky, finished on a high note, and then we finished with a great members only training today. Another great day. We'll see you guys in the morning, 7:45. Bye bye for now.